Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are growing strawberries, and strawberries are delicious and they're just a great thing to grow in your garden. This is how I'm going to set these ones up. I've got these strawberries here. These are actually from last season. You can have a look here. I've actually got them in boxes that I'm planting them out of and putting them back in. Now when you're planting strawberries, one of the key things you need to know is that they love to be in raised garden beds, so they really like good drainage. So I've got them in these. I'm also putting them around the outside, and the reason I'm doing this in my bed is so that when they start to flower and fruit, the fruit then hangs over and you don't get the grubs and other things that love to eat them. Now when I'm planting them, a really important thing to know is not to plant them too deep, because if you plant them too deep, you'll actually kill the plant. So you want to make sure that this crown part of the plant is actually up and out of the soil. Now you can see this one is a bit of last year's, so I'm actually going to cut off all these dead kind of bits, and what that's going to do is stimulate growth for the plant and allow the plant to have a more success in the whole transplanting process. Because it does stress the plant once they've been taken out. And so once I put it in, I'm not going to plant it too deep. I'm going to make sure that the crown is exposed and give it apply a bit of pressure around the outside too. And you can see I'm spacing them probably about 20 centimeters apart. If I was to have them in rows going this way, I'd actually have them a lot more further spaced. But because I'm doing it right on the edge, they're going to have enough breathability and room to do that. You can see with this one, this is a last year's plant as well. People often say, you know, it's best to just plant the runners from the last season. However, I actually find plants that actually come from that season still actually produce quite well good strawberries. The best time to plant is in Brisbane in particular is late autumn. So I'm planting these at the end of March, which is okay. I like to try and get them into March, and the best time to do it is when it's cloudy and where it's not so sunny, because they don't like the heat. And so good time in Brisbane is to plant them in autumn. So what you want to try and do, I'll just get you to come in a bit closer, is to actually cut the runner off as close to the plant as you can, right up against it there. All right, and what that'll do is that'll eliminate, this plant will now be able to grow a whole lot better, and you'll actually get more growth and more strawberries from that. Well, welcome back. It is the end of May. We came up to some really nice weather, winter weather, and you can see the strawberries are actually doing quite well. They've grown more leaves, and this is the time where I start to put sugarcane mulch around them. And the reason I put sugarcane mulch around them is to, one, stop all the pests kind of getting in at the fruit. Also to keep the strawberry well hydrated, keeping the moisture in, keeping the weeds out. But also it's really that the strawberries themselves, the fruit can actually rest on the sugarcane mulch and not get eaten by bugs. Because once they get in contact with the soil, everything likes to eat them. So it kind of just keeps them away from that, and that's really good. You can see here, they're actually starting to flower, which is great, and that's what you want. The one thing you want to try and just look out for at this particular growing stage is runners. At this time, I don't want any more runners because I've got enough strawberry plants, and what the runners do is they take nutrients away from the plant. So any runners that I see, you can see this one coming off this plant here, I'm just going to cut it off here and just break that off. And the plant itself I don't want. I can just replant this plant, however I'm not interested in having any more, so I'm just going to pull it out, and so that it's away from the main plant as well. So yeah, so that's it. And next stage we'll actually be putting some bird net over the top of them once I start getting strawberries on. Hello and welcome back. We are in July and this is prime strawberry growing time. And one of the things you can see that I've done is I've
put nets around the strawberries. Now this is really important because the birds absolutely love to eat them, and in fact they will eat them while they're still green, and which is what you don't want. So by putting really simply, I just put these nets around them just by putting some stakes in the bed, and then wrapping the net over the top of them. Now one thing you want to try and do when you do this is to try and just keep, I'll just show you over here, just try and keep the net away from the strawberry plants themselves, because if it's too close, you can see here just on that one there, a bird has been able to pick at it through the net and take a big chunk out of it. So that's what you don't want. So you've got to try and, as best you can, have the net away from the actual strawberry plant so that they can't peck through the net and then into the strawberries. Now let's have a look at these ones. Just going to pull the net up here. In regards to strawberry maintenance, this is what I like to do with your strawberry plants. Is just you can see some of them that kind of sit on the soil, they'll go rotten like that. So what I try and do is I try and just grab the strawberries and place them over the edge. And what that does is that helps them keep them off the soil and keep them away from kind of getting mold or mildew on them. So just kind of bring them out as they flower. These ones here, you can see I try and get the soil out of that one, but yeah, just try and pull it back and over the edge, pull it back and over the edge, pull it back and over the edge. This one here. And so what it'll do is they'll then hang, some of them they'll just do that naturally because they're right on the edge, but others you kind of have to do a bit of training, grabbing them, putting them over. The other thing you want to do is pull off any kind of dead leaves. You want to pull off any dead leaves and actually get rid of them. So once they start to go yellow, you can see this one here, starting to go yellow and then brown. You just want to pull them off, and you can do that just with your fingers. And what this will do is this will just help kind of clean around the plant, and it will stop your strawberries from going kind of moldy and bad. So if you can kind of just keep, it's a bit of strawberry maintenance, but if you can try and just keep all your green leaves going, and then all of your yellow or brown leaves, just pull them out and just throw them in the compost. You can see this one, I can actually I can just pull that one out. You can see it's starting to go brown, a little bit brown and a little bit yellow. So any kind of discolorment, you just want to pull away and just get rid of them. So the plant's always going to have that nice green color to it. Yeah, and then just having your strawberries, letting them hang over the edges of your raised garden beds. We'll do that with this one. You can see here any of these strawberries flowering in fruit, you can put it over the edge here. So that one's gone. It's too late with that one, it's gone all moldy because it's kind of been stuck in there. But yeah, what you want to, ideally you want them to hang over there, and that kind of best keeps them. You can see the difference with this one here. So this one hasn't been resting on the soil, it's been resting on the sugarcane mulch, and you can see it's a lot, it hasn't been kind of affected by bugs. So yeah, this is a nice strawberry, and this is what you want to be growing, particularly this time of year. That is delicious. We are late September, and it is starting to heat up, and we're getting 30-degree days at the moment. We haven't had much rain, and what happens during this time of the year is that the strawberries ripen quite quickly, so you can actually pick a whole lot, but the problem is once it starts getting hot, the strawberries actually get a lot smaller in size, and so you can see here they're starting to really not grow as large as what they once were. They're still really sweet. However, you do need to make sure you keep the water up to them during when it gets hotter. And you can see here some of these plants are looking a little bit sad, like they need a drink. But providing that you keep the water up to them during this time, you will still get quite a lot of strawberries
over the September period.